Here we are at Turkey Point Provincial Park. It's
July the 11th, 2025.
This is our first time at Turkey Point. So we are in the, what is it, Phineas and Ferb campground. The what now?
Fin and Feather.
Fin and Feather campground. And we're on a serviced site, which interestingly, not all of the sites in this campground are serviced, so there's been quite interesting mix of people leaving the unserviced sites vacant because they prefer the service sites.
So we have, unlike much of the park, we have really good privacy here just because so many of the sites are vacant.
They're also pretty well spaced out in certainly the part that we're in.
Yeah, so, unlike much of the park.
Some of the other campgrounds, we're quite close to the Walking Stick Woods campground, and it's like the path with mosquitoes. It's just really crowded. People are right on top of each other. There are some trees, but it's a lot of pine trees and things. Very little ground cover. Very tight. Very noisy.
Yeah.
Here is, in addition to our previous pro tips about how to pick a campsite, stay away from kaibos and comfort stations. Look for a serviced site that is surrounded by unserviced sites.
Yeah. It's beautiful and peaceful. We can hear birds.
And the occasional dog barking.
Yes.
And chipmunks getting into it. Some of them are not happy.
Okay, and our actual site number is
227.
227.
Which is quite a nice site. I would come back to this particular site. It was a little bit of extra trouble to get level. The soil here is all sand, so even when you think you're about to get level, the sand compresses.
Yeah.
So we fiddled a little bit with that.
So bring lots of leveling things.
Right.
We used wood a lot because the plastic tended to dig in easier.
Right. This is a 4-night stay, which is probably about the right length of stay for this park.
I mean, there are some trails. There's a lot of mountain bike trails. But it's not a park full of activities. However, it is a park situated in an interesting area. We've enjoyed driving around the farmland and the wineries, breweries, little towns.
We'll scan somehow and or find the link to a what do they call it? There are wineries, there are breweries, there's a couple of places to get some cider. We went to a couple of nice places. There's a place near here called Burning Kiln Winery where we had some quite nice wine.
Yeah, quite a lot of nice wine. Yeah.
And there was another place we went to called
Blueberry
something or other at Blueberry Hill.
Yeah.
And
it was a bit hit and miss with their wines.
Yes.
But it was a nice place. And they have fresh blueberries that they grow right there. So.
And you can pick your own if, you're going to fall for that.
Our first day, we kind of hiked through, it drizzled all day, right? So like a heavy mist all day, which was actually okay to hike in. It was like air conditioning.
Right.
And it seemed to keep the bugs down, right? Because the hiking otherwise, it's the first part of July. So even though the campsite is not too buggy, strangely, the hiking is buggy.
So we did, there are 3 trails in the park. We did all 3.
Yeah.
And then there are a myriad mountain bike trails that cross back and forth over the hiking trails.
Yeah.
There's some kind of a Turkey Point mountain biking club or something, and they partner with the park, or they have somehow they've got trails coming in and out of the park all over the place. So you have to be very careful watching the signs. So the other thing about the park, speaking of signs, the signage, not top rate, not their best feature, and the park map,
not entirely accurate.
They have more of a concept of a map than a map. Just
it adds to the adventure.
There's just something to keep in mind. Come back here, take the map with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And be very careful with the signs. So the trails. So there was the Phineas and Ferb Trail, which we didn't start off on. We actually started on a mountain bike trail that eventually intersected with the Phineas and Ferb Trail.
Yes, and on a mountain bike trail, you do a lot of switchbacks and walk the line of spaghetti. It was fine.
Right. So we walked the spaghetti rather than assuming that if we cross over,
5 feet over to the trail that you see right there, that's going to be a shortcut, because you can't be sure.
Can't be sure, and then you don't know which way you should be turning once you get there.
Yeah.
And on those mountain bike trails in particular, quite a lot of poison ivy.
Mm.
So something to keep in mind there. You're not going to want to go. The ground cover can be quite thick.
Yeah. So don't count on peeing in the woods.
Right. Unless you really, really have your heart set on it. Then, wear long pants. The Fin and Feather Trail, which takes you out to a lovely chain link barbed wire enclosed industrial facility wherein apparently they hatch fish to stock the Great Lakes, which is kind of cool.
And I think I think you can book a tour there, but you have to book like way in advance. So
it's worse than Disneyland.
Yeah.
In terms of how long in advance you book your trail. So, but it was nice trail, a little bit of up and down, but well established.
Yeah, and quite easy.
Yeah. Then we went on the Oak Savannah Trail, which is a nice little loop, kilometer or so.
It's a walk in the woods trail.
Walk in the woods trail.
Yeah.
It was fine. Also nice. Then they have a longer loop trail called the Lookout Bluff Trail, which in our case was a little too buggy to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
If we had maybe had our bug gear with us, we might have.
But then it would have been hot for the bug gear.
Yeah.
And the lookout, it's fine.
Not much of a lookout.
It's not much.
Mostly overgrown, so there's not much of the lake to see.
You look. There's a bench there. You look, and it's like, yep, that's Lake Erie.
Maybe they mean for you to look at the bench. But most of the bug bites that we got in that 1 hour or so of walking that trail.
Yeah.
So.
And we were sprayed.
Yeah, it was just gravy for them, I think. Ooh, this one has sauce. So that was all right. In terms of other facilities, there really isn't any paddling. They don't rent anything, certainly from the park. The beach you drive to, it's down in the town of Turkey Point. So it's about, from our campsite, I think we timed it about 7 minutes to drive. And you can park there, and it's a Lake Erie beach with sand and shallow water, and it seemed
and it's nice sand. It's it's pretty fluffy, nice sand. If you like that sort of thing.
So good for that kind of beach. Other facilities. So it's a small-ish park. So there's nothing along the lines of say like a visitor's center. Park office has a little store with all of the necessary stuff that you would want. So that was good.
I mean, not a lot, not like groceries and that.
Snacks.
Yeah.
But not groceries. I mean.
But there's so many towns around and farms that you could get anything you wanted with a short drive.
But if for some reason you found yourself short of mustard, you could get a jar of mustard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
That's, They had that kind of groceries, not marshmallows, various kinds of cookies. Haven't used the dump station yet, so we don't quite know what it looks like. It's 2 lanes, dump then fill, and there's also 1 extra fill on the way in.
Yeah.
So
they're well provided that way.
Pretty good. The roads, a little potholy in places.
Like
not everywhere, but there are places where there's some bad potholes. So caution while driving through the park, especially pulling the trailer. So in terms of some recommended sites, not a lot. Like I said, there's maybe a couple in this Fin and Feather campground. It is a bit of a walk to a comfort station. There's no comfort station in Fin and Feather. You have to actually have to walk to an adjacent campground. So depending on which side you're on, it's either going to be Walking Stick Woods or it's going to be Whippoorwill.
Oh yeah, and the comfort stations are old school.
They're quaint.
They brings back childhood memories.
They've got the rustic tile walls.
Actually,
with
not childhood memories. There were no comfort stations when I was a child, but still.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah, they're the wooden buildings with showers right in where the washrooms are and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and
they're okay.
They're perpetually damp for some reason.
Yes.
There is a Kaibo in our campground, and it's a new modern brick building. There's sink and soap and all that good stuff, but a little dodgy. It's a sort of a fancy hole in the seat type of pit toilet, and quite full of flies.
Yes.
So makes it worth the walk to the next campground over.
But anyway. still usable.
Usable, but not in the top 5 activities of the campground.
But the self-service,
intriguing. So there's usually lots of bars. So I feel like we could, take a phone call. We've taken a couple of phone calls, but the internet very slow, sometimes too slow to be usable.
Yeah.
So interesting that way, and it varies depending on where you are in the park too. So I mean, it's kind of bad on our campsite. In other places in the park, I've noticed basically no internet at all. So that's something to keep in mind. In case either of us decides we're going to start working remotely from camping. In terms of some wildlife, there's been a bit. Biggest thing I saw a deer while we were hiking.
I missed it.
Sandy missed it. He was walking across the road. We've had lots of chipmunks and lots of birds. So it's a pretty good park for birds.
Lots of squirrels.
Lots of squirrels.
Why is this interesting?
Just what do you see?
Okay.
We have seen a turkey. We saw a turkey while we were out driving, and there was a little toad.
Yes.
So there's the wildlife.
No raccoons.
No raccoons, which is intriguing to me because there's so much going on in the campground over. You would think the raccoons would just be able to, sneak in and brazenly steal whatever you like. You mentioned before there's quite a lot to do around the park. And I think were we to come back to this park, it would be to use it as a base for that kind of stuff. Mentioned some wineries, some breweries. There's a eco-adventure place at Long Point, which
I personally would like to do. So you can, there's all these waterways, and it's quite a maze of waterways. If you look at a map of Turkey Point, you'll see that. So you can take these guided kayak tours, and I wouldn't brave it without a guide, I don't think. That would interest me. And then we did go to also Long Point,
Right.
which was
So we did sort of like the day use thing, drove into Long Point Provincial Park.
determined don't camp there.
Don't camp there. It's like there's two kinds of sites. It seems like the service sites are basically KOA with a couple of extra trees, people right on top of each other. And then there are also some tiny, tiny little sites kind of
Nestled in the sand dunes.
Exactly. Small sites. So Long Point seems like the place you would go if you want to hang out at a Lake Erie style beach. Also good for bird watching. So we went to
Spring and autumn is people go there for bird watching.
Yeah, it's a big place for birding. So do you remember the name of that place we tried to stop at?
Along the main highway, driving along to get into Long Point, there is a very official bird observatory sort of place and research place, and they have viewing platforms and so on. So we went there, and you could. I mean, there were a lot of birds. We're looking at Merlin and going, wow. And we could see swans out on the water and stuff. However, they have a 2-kilometer trail. We started down that trail and then saw people coming back the other way, one of whom was running just to get away from the horseflies.
Yeah.
So
one woman was walking briskly, waving her arms around her head. And the other person running down the path to get away from the horseflies. We thought, let's have a look. We went maybe 50 meters and said, nope, too many horseflies. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So come back.
In fall, I'd say.
Autumn is probably the time to be there. See some migrating birds in addition to all of the other birds. But that's another thing that I think this park would be a good home base for doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because you really don't want to camp at Long Point itself.
Not our style of camping.
But it's half an hour away, right?
Half an hour from Turkey Point. So, nice, easy drive that way.
And interesting things along the way. So, yeah, and there's, another thing would be like if we were to come in August or September, it's such a farming area. And there's just a huge variety of produce that's grown here.
Yeah.
And I imagine the farm markets would just be amazing at that time of year.
Yes.
There's a lot of tobacco grown here too.
And interestingly, several tobacco farms that have been converted into other crops. Mm-hmm. So some of the wineries, Burning Kiln in particular was one that was a tobacco farm that they converted to grapes. And we also went to kernel peanuts.
Right, that's in the 70s converted tobacco to peanuts.
Peanuts. Just don't try to go there on a Tuesday.
Yes.
Much less interesting on a Tuesday.
Closed.
But we managed to get some peanuts, including some black peanuts.
Yes.
That's a thing we don't know about.
Just the Cornish Rex of peanut.
Even less fur than a Cornish Rex, one hopes. We'll find out when we open the bag. But we did try a sample, and it was very peanutty. Anything about the drive to the park? The drive to the park was quite easy, actually. You just hop on the 403 and get off the 403 onto Highway 6 and basically follow Highway 6 until almost the front door of the park.
Yeah, so under 2 hours.
And there are some nice little towns along the way. Simcoe, Jarvis, a couple other ones.
Port Dover.
So we should mention Port Dover.
Yeah, Port Dover is quite the classic beach town.
It's sort of like upscale Grand Bend. I didn't see
without being upscale.
So we did have quite a nice
perch dinner.
Lake Erie fresh perch at a place called the Beach House.
Yeah, and you sit overlooking the lake, and it's very nice.
That was very pleasant, and there's a little cheese shop in town. We picked up some nice stuff there, and many other interesting things. Some summer stock theater, in case we haven't seen quite enough Norm Foster.
No, but they did have other things, just not while we were here.
I see.
It wasn't all Norm Foster.
There's a fair amount of Norm Foster.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, summer stock. So overall, a successful trip.
Yes.
And going with the theme of this season, the bugs are not what you expect. That's a notable thing. So when we were at the Pinery a few weeks ago, one of the park naturalists said things seem to be about a month behind. So maybe that's what it is, because the winter and the spring in particular was so cold.
Yeah, because to be at the Pinery in June, why weren't we eaten alive? And even here, like we mentioned, the bugs at the campsite, they really don't come until sunset.
Right.
So we're sitting here. I'm not sprayed. I don't know if you are.
I sprayed earlier because first thing this morning when I was having some breakfast, there were some bugs, and I thought, you know what? I don't need that. I have technology.
But like walking in the woods is more what you'd expect,
right.
the bug-wise, yeah. You were walking in front of me. I could see all the mosquitoes swarming around you.
Okay. I didn't get as many bites, let's say that. On the Lookout Bluff Trail, I would be squeezing some afterbite onto one part of my wrist, and like there's a mosquito biting me on another part of my wrist.
So don't stop to put on the afterbite, because they'll get you. Also, if you're gonna whack a horsefly off Joel's back, warn him
first. A little warning, please.
He was a little miffed about that.
Man. Plus, you can brush a horsefly off. You don't have.
No, you want it to die, because they'll just come back.
Try to leave some vertebrate intact is all I'm saying. So there we have it, Turkey Point Provincial Park.